All right, 3, 2, 1, let's get it. Welcome to another episode of What's Your Problem, the podcast, and I am your host, Marsh Buice. If this is the first time we've met, man, it is nice to meet you. If you've been here a time or 10, welcome back. We're closing the gap on episode 900, on the way to 1,000. 1,000, man, is just, I can't wait to get there. 1,000 episodes, it just means so much. It's, you know, the number is whatever the number is, but it's just a signal of what consistency actually does. And what, you know, this podcast, writing, reading, and then, of course, sharing on the podcast has literally saved my life. And I'm just so grateful that I get to come back time and time again. And I'm also grateful that there are no barriers to entry. Like, I don't need permission to get on the microphone. I don't need permission to share anything with the world. Whatever it is I want to talk about, I can do so, and I can put it out there. And that's what's so beautiful about where we are today with technology and everything like that. Like, it's never been easier to get started on something, yet it's never been easier to not start either. You know, so many times I think in life we look at things and you know, just going back, I don't know, a decade or more back, and there was always something in the way, right? Well, I mean, this is the thing. And that's kind of like what made life, what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of what let you off the hook, so to speak, is because somebody was standing in your way. There was always a gatekeeper. And now we don't have gatekeepers anymore. You are the gatekeeper. And you have been the whole time. You just didn't realize that. And so now, man, just whatever it is that you want to do, and this isn't what even I'm coming to you about today, but just do it. Just, you know, it's so cliche to say, but just get started somewhere. So let's talk real quick about a concept of success, which is the name of the podcast episode. Success is as easy as XYZ. And I want to share, for context, I want to share with you a quote that I read from Warren Buffett. And I read this. I'm reading the book now. I don't have it in front of me, so I don't know the author's name. But it's Warren and Bill. It's basically that's the name of the book. And it's basically the relationship of Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and how they developed a relationship and what they've meant to one another. So it's a pretty interesting book. So here's what I read and what I want to unpack with the thought today. Warren Buffett said, if you have X today and do Y tomorrow to make more, they will almost always add up to the Z that you anticipated. People, however, are unpredictable, undependable, and they're full of surprises because calamity can strike at any moment. But the numbers can be tracked in a ledger. And if they can be counted, they can be counted on. Cool. So I want to break this down of what this means to you and to me, because success really is as simple as XYZ. See, X is where you are right now. Y is what you need to do today. Z is where you want to be. And if you think about it, the XYZ principle, where you are right now, what you need to do today to get to where you want to be tomorrow, this applies to every area of your life. I mean, think about it. If you know where you are and then you know what steps to take, you can predict your progress. I love this. You can predict your progress. Fuck a future. You can predict your future. I don't care about that. The future is going to be what it's going to be. But if I take stock in where I am right now, that's my X, and I refuse to stay there, and I take action and do things in a productive manner through a process, no narrative to it, no extra emotions to it. If I just do these things to get to why, this is what I see in my life, you'll achieve it. You'll achieve it in every area of your life. And you can predict your progress. That's what's great about this. I can predict my progress because I'm paying attention to the numbers and I see where I'm at today. I do something to grow that number because I don't want to stay there, because that's where I need to be in the future. Success has got nothing to do with luck. It's not waiting on the perfect moment. So many times, man, we're waiting on a windfall, right? We're waiting on, well, I mean, if I lived in this city, if I had this kind of job, if I had this degree, if I didn't have so much credit card debt. I mean, it's all, if I was in better shape, if I had a gym near me, all these windfall, if I hit the lottery, all these windfall moments. Success is not all at once. Success is predicted based on your progress that you do once all the time. It's all about consistently working the numbers. But let me tell you this, you can't work the numbers if you don't know your numbers. And this is where most of us fall short. We avoid facing the reality of our ex. And your ex is your current situation because it's uncomfortable. You don't have to stay on your ex. That's what the Navy SEALs say. Get off your ex. Take action, make moves, and push towards your Z. Success in every area of your life is numbers driven. And so the more that you know your numbers, the more control you have over the outcome. But it's when the numbers don't look good, when they reflect something that we're not proud of, that's when we tend to turn away. Every failure that I've had in life is because I didn't like the numbers and what the numbers were saying and where the numbers were leading, and I turned away from them. And I pacified it through other vices, through destructive measures. I just wanted to get away from it. Hopefully they'll just fix themselves. That's what we do. We just kind of turn away and hope, oh, I don't see that right now. Hopefully it'll fix itself. Hopefully I get that windfall. I get that lottery. I get a scratch off. Grandma dies, leaves me an inheritance, get a big income tax refund, got a shot to lose the weight, whatever. I mean, it's just this, it's these windfall moments. And your windfall that you're expecting is your downfall because you're waiting on one big swing and you're missing out on all the opportunities in life. Don't lose your focus. Instead of running from your numbers, confront the numbers. That's why confrontation is key. It's one of the 5 C's that I always coach on. Communication, life skills. Communication, curiosity, creativity, continuous learning and action, and productive confrontation. Just confront the numbers. Work the numbers. Numbers don't stay the same if you take consistent action. Because you know this, if you know that it's impossible to go through life undefeated, then why in the hell do you think that you'll stay defeated? It's impossible. Wherever you are right now doesn't have to be your permanent position unless you decide to stay on your X. So how does this work in real life? There are 5 key drivers in your life, and they all start with the letter F. Family, faith, fitness, finances, fulfillment. That's the 5 areas. If you think about it, everything falls within that. So how can we become successful? The XYZ principle. X is where I am. Y is what I need to do. Z is where I want to be. All right, so in family, it's pretty much a no-brainer. Spend a little more quality time with your family. You don't have to ball out. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to spend any money. Here's the challenge with your family, to spend more quality time with them. Try to do it without spending a dime. Really, try to do it without spending a dime. It's not the things, it's the experience. It's the relationships. And dude, I'm talking to me. I'm not talking to you. So spend a little bit more time with the family. How can I grow it? And that's being more attentive. That's being more present. Doesn't have to be a grand gesture. Doesn't have to be 9 hours at a time. But just when you're on the phone, when you're in front of them, when y'all are sitting down having a drink or having dinner, be locked in. Put your phone away. Fucking world can wait. Faith, XYZ. X is where I am today. Maybe you don't like where you are spiritually right now. Okay? That's where you are. What are some things that you can do? God is primary in my life. I have fought against him. I have shied away from him. I have not talked to him. He still kept me. And I look back on some of the destructive things. I was thinking about this last night, man. And I was like, bro, I was just in the wrong setting, doing the wrong things. God could have just snuffed me out. He kept me. I'm so grateful for it. It's like I got a new birth on life, and I don't want to squander it. And some of my frustration is sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough. And that's where I get frustrated. But if I put God just in my life, man, what do you want me to do, Big G? What you got for me? What you need me to do? What do I need more of? And not materialistic things. What do I need to do more of? I want to be more efficient. I want to be more present. I want to be there for my family. I don't want to chase likes and all that. No. But what can I do to share the gifts that you've given me and keep you throughout the day? So that's the faith part. That's what it is for me. Fitness. How can you X is where you are, okay? You're 20 pounds overweight. Doesn't stay that way. You weren't birthed at this weight. Okay? So obviously it can go down. Or you're scrawny. You want to build up. Okay? What do you need to do? How do you move the needle? X is where I am. Y is what I need to do. And dude, I'm talking just a few things consistently done every single day. That gets to your Z. A lot of times, man, we don't even know what our Z is. We're just kind of like, hope I get there. Where? I don't know. Somewhere better than here. Well, why don't you pick a direction? And this is what I want to be. Doesn't have to be materialistic. Doesn't have to be money driven. I'm not real money driven. I like having a lot of money, but I don't need to have $400 billion. I'm not interested in that. Doesn't even do anything for me. But whatever it is, that'll be finances here in just a second. But on the fitness side of it, okay, what do you need to do? Okay, what's the challenge? I'm going to work out every single day. Cool. And when I say work out, it could be movement working out. It doesn't have to be a big meathead in the gym. And then adjusting your caloric intake, your ideal body weight times 14 will give you a rough estimate of how many calories you need to take in. And then make sure that your protein intake is primary. So your protein, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Want to be 200 pounds? You need 200 grams of protein at least. And then adjust the rest of it accordingly. Enough about that. Finances. What kind of income do you want to make? How can you grow your department that you're in now? How can you increase your skill set? And don't for 1 minute sit here and tell me, oh, I got to go back to college. So many people take the easy road, and the easy road is the costly road because they just fall back into college again, rack up more degrees, and you don't do shit with them. Oh, I got to go get me another degree. I've talked to people, I'm getting my double master's. For what? What are you going to do after that? Oh, I'm not quite sure yet. What? You're racking up all these degrees for what? It's because they're scared to face life. They're scared to step out there in life, in reality, and say, oh, shit. And then, you're sitting there working at Home Goods and got a double master's. It's because you didn't have your Z. What is it like? You can get there. You just got to work the numbers. The numbers will always work. But you got to work the numbers. They don't work themselves. And you cannot set it and forget it. You got to work them every single day. That means some days, man, you just got to look at them and be like, boy, I've let myself slide. All right? If the numbers can go up, they can go down. If they're down, they can go up. You got to work it. And then fulfillment. Find the overlap. Man, there is some sense of fulfillment for you. It could be fishing. It could be drawing. It could be writing. It could be reading. It could be poetry. Whatever, it could be model airplanes. It could be, and you may have different seasons. But find your fulfillment. I'm fortunate. I have the overlap. The fulfillment for me, what brings me the most amount of energy. That's how you find your fulfillment. Like what just lights you up, man, when you can do it. For me, it's reading and writing. It's reading something and then translating it and writing it and then sharing it. That's what brings me the most amount of energy. And what's beautiful about where I'm at is the writing is an overlap for me, because a lot of the things that I write about are about fitness, are about finances, are about family, are about faith. And so it's the overlap for all the other areas too. So they help me in all other areas. Some of your fulfillment doesn't have to do that. It's just a bonus if you can find that fulfillment. So here's the bottom line, man. You got to pick a direction. Life, I think life is not as complicated as we make it. We make it so complicated. The Bible says that. Just focus on a day. That's it. Get off your X. Look at where you are right now, and then work your why. Figure out, okay, these are a few things that I need to do today that will close the gap on my Z. This is what I want my life to look like. I want to live here. I want to make this kind of money. I want to feel this way. I want to look this way. Boom, do it. Success is all about consistency over intensity. The intensity, as you see the results, the intensity is going to naturally raise up anyway. So just small bite-sized moments, man. Consistency over intensity. It's not about doing everything all at once. It's about doing things right once all the time. You just hit it. Lay the brick. And then when you stay focused on the numbers and you work the numbers, don't just look at them, work them. Your emotions are going to end up taking a back seat. Your emotions are the thing that try to derail you. Put them in the back seat. Nope, let's go. And you confront it. And that's what's good, man, because you can control the numbers. Like old Uncle Warren said, if the numbers if it can be counted, then it can be counted on. But you got to track it. You got to pay attention to it. Success really is as simple as XYZ. X is where you are. Y is what you need to do. Z is where you want to be. And so your journey can be simplified. It won't always be easy, but you can simplify it. And it's not going to happen overnight. Until is your time frame. When's it going to happen? Until. I don't know. I just lay the brick. I don't give any of my results back, and I just keep building on that. And if you work those numbers daily, you're going to get to your Z. All right? Let's get out of here. Please share this episode with someone who needs it. Also, leave a rating and review. If What's Your Problem, the podcast, a certain episode, or this episode, or just in general, what it means to you, because there are literally millions of podcasts out there, and it could be your words posted as a review, could be the very thing that causes someone to read what you wrote and say, let me check out an episode. And then it changes the course of their life. All because of your words. I just share the message I've been given. That's it. All right? Let's get out of here. Keep it simple. Keep it moving. Never settle. Stay tough. Peace.